Yedid nefesh av harachaman meshoch avdach el ritzonach yarutz avdach emo haya yishtachaveh el muhadarach yerav lo yedidutach minofet suf v'chol ta'am Adonai ezim ha'olam nafshi cholat ahavatach ana elna rifanala beharod la noam zivach az titchazek v'titrapeh v'haitalach shivchat olam vatik yachemu rachamecha v'chosna al ben ohavach Kizekama niksof niksof lerot betiferet uzach ana eli machmalibi hushana ve'atitalam higalena ufros chaviv alai et sukat shelomach ta'ir eretz mikvodach nagila v'nismecha bach mahir ahuv kivamoed v'choneni kimei olam yadadai-dai-dai-dai 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 yadadai-dai-dai yadadai-dai-dai-dai 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 $15.48. Lechun ranana ladonai naria litzor yishenu מקדמת פניו בתודה בזמירות נריע לו ידני אלי ידני ארבעים שנה אקוט בדור ואומרם טועה לבבם והם לא ידעו דרכי אשר נשפטי מאפי אם יבואו אל מנוחתי ידני page 1649 שירו לאדוני שיר חדש שירו לאדוני כל הארץ שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו ספרו בגויים כבודו בכל העמים נפלאותיו כי גדול אדוני ומעולה מאוד נורא הוא על כל אלוהים איי 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 כי כל אלוהי העמים אלילים ואדוני שמיים עשה הוד והדר לפניו עוז ותפארת במקדשו הבו לאדוני משפחות עמים הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז הבו לאדוני כשמו שאו מנחה ובואו לארצותיו איי 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 השתחוו לאדוני בהר הקודש הילו מפניו כל הארץ אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך אב תיכון תבל ואל תימות יד עינמים במשמרים ישמחו השמיים ותגר הארץ ירם הים ומלוא יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו איי 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 אז ירננו כל עצי יער לפני אדוני כי מה לשפוט הארץ ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים באמונתו ילאי ללאי לאי לללאי לללאי לאי לאי Shomer nafshot chasidav meyad reshahim yatzilem or zaru al atzadik o yisrael simcha simchut tzadikim barunai Vodu lezecher kodsho 1852 Mizmor shiru ladonai shir chadash ki niflaot asa Hoshia lo yemino uzroa kodsho ay hodia Adonai Yeshuato lehine hagoyim gilotzi tato Zachar chasto ve'emunato Levei Yisrael ra'u Kol afsei aretz Et Yeshuat Eloheinu Ariu l'Adonai Kol ha'aretz Yitzchu ve'ramenu ve'zameru Zamru l'Adonai ve'chinar Ve'chinar kol zimra V'chatzot v'kol shofar Hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai Iram nayam umelo Tevel v'yoshvei ba V'harot imcha uchav Yachad harim yeronenu Lifnei Adonai kivam Lishmot ha'aretz Yishmot tevel b'tzadek Ve'amim ve'misharim Yalai la 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 Yalai la 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 Yalai la 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 Yalai la 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 Yalai la 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 Yalai la 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 Yalai la 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 Yai yai la 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 19 Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu ve'har kodsho Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu ve'har kodsho Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu 20 or 54 Mizmor leDavid Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim Havu l'Adonai Kavod ba'os Ay Havu l'Adonai Kevod shemo hishtachavu l'Adonai l'hadrat kodesh Oh Adonai al-hamayim el hakavod yerim Adonai al-mayim rabim Oh Adonai ba'koach Ay Oh Adonai behadar Kol Adonai shover arazim Vishaber Adonai et azeh havanon Vayarkidem kemo egel Levanon Besiryon Kemo ben re'emim Ay Kol Adonai chotzev lahavotesh Kol Adonai yachil midbar Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh Kol Adonai cholel ayalot Vayechesov Ye'arot Yeshev Adonai Melech Leolam Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitin Adonai Yivarech et Amo Bashalom Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai Dai Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai Dai Yemincha Tatir Terura Kabbalat Tatir Terura Tatir Terura Kabel Rinat Amecha Sagrenu Torinu Nora Yai Dai 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 Yai Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai 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 Yai Dai 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 Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekah Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem al tiferet v'li tchila Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekah v'la Lecha dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nikabela Likrat Shabbat L'chul v'nelcha Ki mekor ha'beracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aser machshava techila Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekavela Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekavela Mikdash melech yemelucha Kol mitzeim mitocha havecha Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha Vehu yachamol alayechem lach Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekavela Lecha dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekavela Hitna arime achar kumi Ifshi bigdei tifartechami Al yad ben Yishai bet halachmi Korba el nafshi ge'ala Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekavela Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekavela Give Rochachi Oma Tehemi Bari Yechesu Ani Eami Venipne Tahir Al Tila Lechadod Dili Radkal Likrakala Bene Shabbat Ne Kabbalat I Ve'ayim Shisa Shosayich Ve'rachaku Kol Mivalayich Yasis Alayich Elohayich Kimsos Chatara Kala Lechadod Dili Radkal Likrakala Bene Shabbat Ne Kabbalat Yaminu Small Tifaroti Ve'et Adonai Ta'aritzi Tayarish Ben Marti Ve'nismecha Ve'nagila Lechadodi Likrat Kala Bene Shabbat Ne Kabbalat Mizmor shir leyom hashabbat tov lehodod l'Adonai ulezamer leshimcha elyon ulezamer leshimcha elyon lehagid baboker chastecha ve'emunatcha b'leilot aleh asov aleh Navel ale higayon bechinor Mizmor shir leyom hashabbat tov lehodod l'Adonai ulezamer leshimcha elyon ulezamer leshimcha elyon Tzadik atamar yifrach ke'erez ba'lebanon yizkeh shetulim mevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu Od inun beseva deshenim verananim yiyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai tzuri velo avlatabo 2461 Mikolot Ma'im Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Mikolot Ma'im Chaim Rabim, Adirim, Adirim, Mishpereyam, Adir Bamarom, Yadai, Adir Bamarom, Yadai, Adir Bamarom, Adonai, Adir Bamarom, Yadai, Adir Bamarom, Yadai, Adir Bamarom, Adonai. Elotecha nimnu me'od, levidcha navakodesh, Adonai, le'orech yamim.
That was beautiful. This week we observe the Yartzeiton of David Kasten, father of Iris Kasten, Angelica Ledesma, sister of Danielle Gretz, David J., a founding member of the PJC, Marilyn Berginski, mother of Claudia Lee, and also Wilhelm Krauss, who is memorialized on our board. May their memories and the memories of all those whom we recall be blessings. In lieu of Kaddish, because we do not have a minyan in the room, we can include Psalm 80. Psalm 27 on page 80 in Sim Shalom. Lulei hamanti liro b'tuv Adonai beretz chayim kavel Adonai chazak b'emetz libeka v'kavel Adonai. Good Shabbos, everyone. Thank you all for coming out on a snowy night. So I want to share just a very quick word of Torah, much of it in the name of some of our Learning Center students who had some really profound and beautiful things to say this week. So the Parsha is Bo, Parshat Bo, and we're in the midst of the Exodus story. And I showed the students a short video from Bim Bam, which is a production company that is now defunct, I think, that put together basically a series of kid-friendly Parsha videos that are very short. And if you don't know Bim Bam, you should. They are very well done and often very soothing and sometimes quite profound. And they ask different artists to illustrate and then narrate these little videos. And I showed the kids a video this week by a guy named Joel Stanley, who's an English artist and Jewish storyteller. And he said something very profound. So the first verse of the Parsha, where it gets its name, is Bo El Paro, which means God speaks to Moshe and Aharon and tells them to, you got to present yourself before Pharaoh. And this line has long been read as rather significant. Of course, it's significant in the life of the Jewish people because it has to happen before the people are going to go free. But it's also been read by commentators throughout history as a charge that you have to really encounter difficult kinds of situations. You gotta present yourself there, and you gotta stand up, and you gotta experience this difficult situation. And different commentators over the course of history have said different things about what exactly this means and just how terrifying this moment must have been. And one of the ones that I always think about every year, because of some of my own interests and maybe my own proclivities, is Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav teaching. And he says that Bo El Paro means you have to go and encounter this radical absence of God in the world, this fact that we feel so alienated and the fact that we feel so lost, and that's really how it is, and we have to encounter that. And part of religious questing is encountering, right, these extremely difficult and hard truths, and we have to stare into the abyss, and hopefully the abyss doesn't stare back into us. And this is what Rabbi Nachman says it means, Boel Paro. And commentators say things like that and tend to focus on just how terrifying this moment must have been. But Joel Stanley, in the video that I showed our kids this week, says something actually very different. He notices that the word bo doesn't mean, it's not like lech lecha, which God says to Abram, go out, right? It doesn't mean, and it doesn't mean run away, which is what the Jews are going to do, the next morning, basically. It says actually you have to come to Pharaoh. And he notices, bo, come to Pharaoh. And he notices that because it's God who is speaking, he says something very beautiful. He says it's almost as if God is saying, come to Pharaoh and don't be afraid, because I'm actually speaking to you from that place. I'm actually there with you. Joel Stanley is a very profound move. He goes a step further. He says, it's almost like God is speaking from that place. It's like God's voice is coming out from that place in Pharaoh, where Pharaoh is still okay. And he says that he realized when he thought about this, that Pharaoh's not a god, and he's not a monster, he's just a human being who forgot how to be a human being. That's what he says. And so I asked our kids, what do you think that means, to forget how to be a human being? And I have to say, I think the three things that they mentioned, it's hard for me to do much better. So Naomi Smizer, and I'll say their names because the Talmud says, he who says a teaching in the name of the teacher brings salvation to the world, and all the more so when it's our kids. And so Naomi Smizer raised her hand and said, well, Pharaoh forgot how to love. That was the first thing she said. That was the first thing anyone said. Pharaoh forgot how to love. And then Ethan Teitelbaum raised his hand, and he said, Pharaoh forgot to remember what he couldn't do. Forgot his limitations. There are things that he couldn't or shouldn't do, and he forgot that. And that's what it means to forget to be a human being. And then Max Temis, and these kids range from 8 to 5, I think. Ethan's a little older. Ethan's 9, I think. Sorry, Ethan, if I got it wrong. And Max Temis said, well, he forgot who he was. Forgot how to love, forgot one's limitations, and forgot who he was. And I have to say, there are other things that being a human might mean and could mean, but it's hard to come up with, for me, with three that encompass more of what being a human, what being a mensch means than those things. Knowing how to love and care, and knowing what you can't do and what you can do and what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and trying to be true to yourself, remembering who you are. And I was very moved by this on Thursday, so moved that I went back to watch the tape of our YouTube video show to make sure I got each kid's name right, because I wanted to share it with you guys. And I think part of the message here is that it's not only maybe that Moshe and Aharon are standing up to Pharaoh. Well, they are, right? And it's not only that they're saying, we're out of here. They are saying that. But maybe there's also a sense in which that, part of their job is to remind Pharaoh of who he once was. Right? He wasn't born a tyrant. He wasn't born wicked. And I think part of the message, come to Pharaoh, means we're supposed to remind people, right, who they are and how to love and what they can and cannot do. Good Shabbos. Thanks to our kids for that beautiful drasha. And thanks to Joel Stanley for a wonderful boom bomb. Mariv? You want to read Mariv? Anyone? Mariv? Yeah? B'vakasha. All right. We won't do Baruch because we have no minion, but we will do everything else on page 28.
Mavir Yom Umevi Laila, Mavdil Ben Kodesh, Mavdil Ben Yom Ben Laila, Adonai Tzvot Shema, Achai V'Kayam Tamid Yim Yachalenu L'Lam B'Ed, B'Rakat Adonai, Hamari V'Avim. V'Yavatcha Al Tasir Mimenu L'Olamim, B'Rakat Adonai, Ahava Mo Yisrael, Shema Yisrael. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Malchutav B'Ratzon Kavlu Alehem. Moshe Bnei Yisrael L'chav Nishra B'Sim Parabav Amir Kulam. Shalom. Natavi Olam, and first let me see Sukkot Shlomecha, Baruch Adonai, Afresh Sukkot Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim.
Page 34 or page... Yeah, or page 74.
Wait, so, no, not that, and then...
Yeah, Vishamru and El Kaddish, yeah.
Yeah, alright. Vishamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot Et HaShabbat L'dorotam Berit Olam Ve'ini B'nei Yisrael Oti Le'olam Yisrael
seated for just a moment. Once again, we do not have a minyan in the room, so in lieu of Kaddish, I will teach one Mishnah. It's traditional to study Mishnah in honor of people we've lost, because the words, the letters of Mishnah, the most ancient compilation of Jewish law and lore, Mem, Shin, Nun, Hey, can be rearranged as Nishama, Nun, Shim, Mem, Hey, which is one of the many Hebrew words for soul. So I'll learn the first Mishnah of Pirkei Avot, which is often studied on Shabbat, traditionally on Shabbat afternoon, but it's also fine to study it on Erev Shabbat or any time. And this is the very first Mishnah in the whole Mishnah. And it says, Moshe kibel Torah miSinai. Moses received Torah from Sinai. Sarah li Yoshua, and gave it to Joshua. V'Yoshua l'zekenim, and Yoshua to the elders. U'zekenim l'nevi'im, and the elders to the prophets. V'nevi'im mesura l'anshei knesset hagadol, and the prophets gave it to the men of the great assembly, this body of prophets and scholars, shortly before the Common Era. And hem omru shlosha devarim, and those guys said three things. Havu mitunim badin, be careful and conscientious in judgment. Ve'ha'amidu talmidim harbe, and raise up many students. Ve'asu siyag l'Torah, and create a guard to protect the Torah. Certainly a very fine way to start any book. And I'll dedicate that once more to the memories of David Kasten, father of Iris Kasten, Angelica Ledesma, sister of Danielle Gretz, David J., a founding member of the PJC, Marilyn Bergrinsky, mother of Claudia Lee, and also Wilhelm Krauss, who's memorialized on our board. Once again, may their memories be a blessing. I'll invite David Haft, our president, to make announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. When I heard the name of Davy J., I just want you to know that I knew him from my childhood. He was a friend of my father. So it's very touching, and I also remember his lovely wife, Sophie J., who was also a member here for many years, and a beloved member.
They came every Friday night.
Yes. We're looking, as always, we're looking for Kiddush sponsorship. So anyone who wants to, please contact Andrea I always say Rothberg. I think that's right. I can always forget the last name, but Andrea, and she will set you up, okay? We have adult education. The Lunch and Learn Chug is on Wednesdays from 12 to 1. That will be via Zoom. And Tuesday evenings, we have a series with the rabbi from 7:30 to 9. This is in person in the library, and that one will be on Jewish theology and Jewish thought. We already have had a first group, but you can always join in. There's nothing, there's no program you're going to be missing something that you can't just join in. So really consider it. And this year, this season, the topics will include the nature of Jewish law, history of the movements. I think we've kind of covered some of that.
Some of it.
Yeah, and homiletics, because we all need more homiletics, right? You never have enough, but it's fun. We have a January board meeting that'll be on the 13th next week at 7:30 p.m. You can observe the meeting via Zoom, and you'll find that on streaming and virtual links, which I've never found, but it's there somewhere. Okay. We have a blood drive on the 16th. That's not this Sunday, but the following Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. here. You don't need an appointment. You look forward to the weekly announcements. And that if you need more information, contact Michael Dvorkin, who will talk to you. And then they put here something that's sort of highlighted. All donors must be vaccinated. Well, you're not allowed in the building unless you're vaccinated and masked. So nothing new there. The soup kitchen continues under Joe Goldenberg. Next one will be Thursday, the 20th. It's getting a little boring here because they always ask for rotisserie chicken and cookies, but that's it. Rotisserie chicken and cookies. If you are willing to provide that, it's not my favorite meal, but it could be someone else's. Contact Jill and she'll be happy to help you. We have a book group coming up on the 23rd of January at 11 a.m. That's a Sunday. It's via Zoom, and it's on the book Same Sea by Amos Oz. And if you need any further information, Barbara Saunders-Adams, who moderates this, would be very happy to help you. And the link for that session is in the streaming and virtual links, again, which I don't know where to find, but it's there. And we also have the Scholar Stream program, which is free to all members. And I don't know what they're going to be teaching, but the next one is going to be, it begins on January the 19th. And in the weekly announcements, you'll find that. Anything else I have not covered? Jonathan?
Well, you wouldn't have known to cover this. So I know some months or weeks back, we had discussed about starting Shabbat at 6, and I think I was the only holdout. I can do 6 o'clock. So I'm not.
You're telling me, John.
So we decided we want to do that. And I appreciate that you guys were not doing that for me.
Thanks for coming, John. Stay tuned, everyone. 6 would be better for me.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. You freed us up. Very impressed.
One more thing, on not this Saturday night, but next Saturday night, I'm hosting another Havdalah bonfire in my backyard, so please come for that.
And bring firewood.
Bring firewood. No, it's a Havdalah thing. It's also something for my son, my older son Jonah, whose birthday is today. And we were hoping to have a sort of a normal birthday party for him this year, but we decided not to do that because of Omicron. But he really he's been asking to do this apart from that for a long time because he really loved the first one. So please come, if of all ages, but if there's any Learning Center families online, the backyard is fun at night. So
How old is he today?
he's 7. He's 7.
All right.
All right. And Shabbat Shalom, Yeshkach to the Webbers. Yigdal Elohim Chai ve'yishtabach nimtza ve'henei del metziuto echad ben yachid ke'yichudo le'lam v'gam itzof le'achduto ein lo demut haguf ve'eino guf lo na'aroch elav kedushato kadmon l'chol davar asher nivra rishon ben reshit le'reshito hino adon olam b'chol notzar yoreg gdulato malchuto shefan nebuato netano el anshe segulato b'tifarto lo kam b'Yisrael k'Moshe od navi u'ma'abid et emunato Torah temet natan le'amoel al yad nevi'od eman beito lo yachal yifahel ve'lo yamir dato le'olamim lezulato sofer v'yodea setarenu mabi l'sof davar b'kadmato gomel ish chesed k'mibalo Shara kirishato yishlach l'ketz yamin mishichenu lifdot mechakeket yeshuato meitim yichayel beroch hasdo baruch adei ahad shem dihilato meitim yichayel